And hello guys, hello. We are now live, I believe. Let me just rearrange my stuff a little bit and we are going to start. Thank you for joining me today or tonight, depending on where you are. I'm Kirill, your host, and today we are going to have some fun. Let me minimize this. That's better. We are going to nerd out about top Home Assistant blueprints, and I'm going to show them to you in front of live in front of you, so we can test them on a real Home Assistant instances, how they work, how can be imported, and so on and so forth. Let me just rearrange here on the things on my second screen. That's better. I think we can wait a few minutes more and then we can start. Again, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm super excited about this topic because it is very interesting, and I'm super happy to have you around me, and I hope you participate in the post because I've prepared some things for you guys. Not very much, not very how to say hard things. You can do a lot of things by voting in my post, but let me show you. This is what we are going to cover today from the bird's eye view. We are going to start with a poll because I prepared for you two instances. Let me explain. Two Home Assistant instances. First instance, this one, is pretty standard, pretty almost brand new installation with few more sensors like this one and this one. This is empty installation, out of the box. And the second instance that I prepared for you is full of sensors, full of areas, full of anything. Basically, it have anything. And we can start in two different ways. We can start with this brand new Home Assistant installation. We can add on this brand new Home Assistant installation these all sensors, and after that we can import the top Home Assistant blueprints. The importing of this bunch of sensors that you're seeing right now will take no more than 5 minutes, so it will be fast process, but it will be very interesting, I believe, for you, because you can use the same approach for your test environment, where you can test something on these sensors. And again, this is the first approach. We can start with an empty Home Assistant. We can import these sensors very quickly in a matter of 5 minutes, and then we can continue with the Home Assistant blueprints, the top blueprints that I prepared for you. This is option one. Option two is to go straight to the blueprint imports on this Home Assistant instance that is already having these sensors. So the choice is yours. I'll start one quick poll. Hello Seba, hello Divya, or what is the exact name? I'm not sure. Let me start one quick poll and I'll explain further what we are going to do today. I will make this poll in front of you. Start a poll. The question will be to start with. What to start with? This will be the question, and the possible answers will be brand new Home Assistant installation. Then adding. Oh, I cannot type so many characters here. So the first option will be brand new Home Assistant installation, and the second option will be straight to blueprints import. So the first option is to start with brand new Home Assistant installation to import the sensors that we are going to use with blueprints, and then to go to the blueprints demonstration. The second option is to go straight to blueprints import. The choice is yours. You can now vote. Where is my submit button? Add option, start poll. Come on, start poll is not visible for some reason. Oh, I added more options and now I cannot start the poll. Why? Why? Come on, why? You're failing me. Maybe I can try to add the poll from here. Sorry for that, but the start poll button was not active for some reason. That's the risk of the life, I believe. With what to start with? I'll type the same things again. Brand new Home Assistant or straight to blueprints import. So now you should see this poll in your chat and you can start voting. While you're voting, I'll show you my presentation. I prepared this presentation for me and for you because I don't want to miss something important, and for you to see what we are going to actually do today or tonight. So, poll, it is already started, and I see that some of you already are voting. You are voting right now, so that's perfect. The next thing I'm going to say a few words about blueprints, what are Home Assistant blueprints. Then I'll say a few things about my smart home glossary. We will see the poll results and then we'll start with the live demonstrations, depending of what you decide with this from this poll. I'll share a few things about my Home Assistant webinar. Then we'll talk about how updating of blueprints, Home Assistant blueprints, is possible. There are two methods. After that, I'll share my biggest drawback of the blueprints in my point of view, but it may not be a so big drawback, but it is. You'll see that at the end of the stream. And finally, we will conclude this live stream with Q&A, some Q&A session. You can ask something and I can try to answer. Of course, if someone asks something and you know the answer, you can type it in the chat. So the choice is yours. Let's see the result. One more time, I want to share that importing these sensors, this bunch of sensors on a brand new Home Assistant installation will take no more than 5 minutes. It will be very easy and straightforward process, and you can reuse this process. So I think it will be beneficial. If I were you, I would probably vote for this first option regarding the start from scratch, start from Home Assistant, brand new Home Assistant. But it depends. Your choice. It's your choice, so you can vote whatever you prefer, and I will just execute. Nothing more. So the poll is still active. You can still vote, so please do in the chat. Let me share a few words about blueprints. What are Home Assistant blueprints? Before we start with that, can you please tell me in the chat, can you hear me well? Can you see me well? Just simple yes or no will be more than enough. And I need this confirmation in order to see that Everything is fine. I don't want to start talking about these things and to have some problems with the sound or with the video. Familia sent brand new, please. So Familia, vote in the chat for what to start first. Tony said yes. And Divera say yep. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Divera. Always fine. Sent Benoit. Sorry if I'm mistaking your names, but my screen is very tiny here. Oh, good, said Sergio. Okay, everything is fine. Let's continue forward. What are Home Assistant blueprints? Simply said, blueprints are templates that can be used to create one or more Home Assistant automations. Blueprints are pre-made automations that you can easily add in your Home Assistant. Each blueprint can be used to add as many Home Assistant automations as you want. You can create one automation from one blueprint, or you can create 10 of thousands of Home Assistant automations. Home Assistant automation based on blueprint needs to be configured. So once you create an automation from a blueprint, you have to populate some things. You have to type some input parameters. You have to type some actions probably, and it depends on the blueprint. What needs to be configured differs by blueprint. Every blueprint needs different configuration. Most of the time, the configuration of blueprint is not very hard. So most of the times it is not very hard. That's the whole point of the blueprints, to make the things easier. Someone create that blueprints, and you can import that blueprint in your Home Assistant setup, and you can start using it with few clicks and few types of your keyboards. Editing blueprints is also possible. You can take control of blueprint, and once you take control of a blueprint, this will convert the blueprint automation into a regular automation, and will allow you to make tweaks without having to fully rewrite the blueprint, because writing a blueprint can be complex. It is a hard task, but using blueprints in general is an easy task. You can easily use them. It is hard to create them most of the times. Of course, it depends about the complexity of the blueprints, but in simply said, Home Assistant blueprint is a template that can be used to create one or more Home Assistant automations. This template should be configured by you manually. It depends on the blueprint. It can be an easy task, or it can be some time-consuming task. It depends. So that is generally what Home Assistant blueprint is. I'll move to the next slide. You can still vote about with what to start with the empty Home Assistant installation or with the Home Assistant installation full of sensors. The end result will be the same. We will import the top blueprints that are available right now in Home Assistant Blueprints Exchange, and the results will be the same no matter what you choose. Simply one of the options needs 5 minutes more to get to the sensors and then to start importing blueprints. Never mind, you see that when the poll is finished. I want to say just a few quick words about my smart home glossary. You can download it for free by going to this URL, automatelic.pro/glossary. I'll paste this in the chat. Or you can scan this QR code that you're seeing on your screen with your camera's phone. And doing so, you will be redirected to the same URL, and you'll be able to download my glossary. before you download that glossary, you have to, let me quickly show you. I'll open this in one browser. You see this screen. Once you open this URL, you have to click on download, then you have to type your name and your email, your real email address, and you have to click on continue, and you have this smart home glossary downloaded to your device right now in the moment, and you get it also on your email. Also, you'll be subscribed to my smart home newsletter, which is issued every week, and you receive my updates and offers. And you can unsubscribe at any time with one click on every email that you're receiving from me. So if you don't like it, it's a free service. You have to scroll down to the top, very bottom of the emails, and you'll find the unsubscribe link. Once clicked, you will not hear anything more from me. So that is what is about. The smart home glossary is one big PDF file, almost 15 pages, I believe, that is full of smart home terms, and they're simple but useful explanations. So it is very useful. I recently updated it. It is version 3.0, I believe. I updated it several times already, and this version is updated and the most enriched one. So you can find a lot of things inside. So you better download it. You can have it on your phone, you can have it on your laptop, everywhere. So please download it, use this link or scan this QR code and you have it. Let's see the poll results. The winner is straight to Blueprints import. Okay, I'll do that. I hoped to choose the other option because it is more interesting for me. But maybe another time. I will close this window, this brand new Home Assistant installation, and I'll go to this one where I have a lot of things, different rooms, different areas, different sensors, thermostats, basically what a normal or typical smart home is having. And on top of these sensors, I'll create some Home Assistant automations from Home Assistant blueprints. And to do that, I'll go to the Blueprints Exchange. I'll go to Automations and Scenes, Blueprints, and I'll click on this Discover More Blueprints button. This is one of the options. The other option is to actually both options are going to the same place, but I'll show you the other options. The other option, I'll open this homeassistant.io web page. I'll click on this Need Help button here. I'll go to the forum and I'll click on this Blueprints Exchange. This one. This will lead me to the same place as if I click here. Same page. Blueprints Exchange, Blueprints Exchange. This is the same URL. So two ways to reaching this Blueprints Exchange. And now to see the top blueprints, I have to sort them by clicking on this top button right here. I'll click on it, and right now the blueprints are sorted by popularity. Actually, I have three columns here: replies, views, and activity. So the most popular blueprint is called sensor light, motion sensor, door sensor, and so on. It has 2.6K replies, it has 267K views, and last activity is 5 hours ago. So this is the most popular blueprints at the moment. And below are the second, third, and fourth most popular blueprints. We will see them all, so let's start with the first one. I'll click on it. So this blueprint can be used For what? There is a... I have to say that I checked several of the blueprints. The others, I will check them right now. So I will see them for the first time with you. But don't worry, everything will be controlled and well explained as best as I can. So, two ways to import this blueprint. The first way is by clicking on this My Import Blueprint button. The second option is to click here on this GitHub link. I will open it in another tab. This is the blueprint source code. I can now copy this source code and I can import it in my Home Assistant. This is one of the way to import a Home Assistant blueprint, but this is the hardest way, let's say it. It involves several, more steps because I have to go to raw version, I have to select this, I have to copy, then I have to open my Home Assistant, I have to have a file editor add-on or Visual Studio Code or something else. I have to open my blueprints folder here, and inside automation or in somewhere here I have to create one file, and inside this file I have to paste the contents, and then I'll have them. This is too much of a steps. The easiest way is to click on this My Import Blueprint button, and you'll see what will happen. This open page in your Home Assistant will be opened, and before I click on this open link, I have to edit my Home Assistant instance URL. I have to click on this button right here, and I have to type my IP of my Home Assistant. That is one time effort. You have to do this only once, and then you can reuse it multiple times. So my IP is this one, 10.0.0.32. So it is the correct IP of my Home Assistant. This is the default port of Home Assistant. I will not change anything, but for example, if your IP of your Home Assistant is different, you have to change it here. And then you have to click on Update. After that, you have to click on Open Link. And this dialog will be shown in front of you. You can preview the blueprint by clicking on the Preview button. And you can see some information, some links, FAQ, best practices, guidelines. Everything is well described about this blueprint. That is probably one of the reasons, because it is that is why it is so popular, I believe. And the last step is to click on this import blueprint. If you click on cancel, nothing will be imported. Simple as that. But I will import it, and I'll have it here. Sensor light. This is my newly imported. I'll delete the others. I don't need them. They're just confusing me right now. These blueprints are here by default. So once you install Home Assistant, you have these 3 blueprints pre-installed for you. Now I'll delete them and I'll leave only the newly imported one, the most popular one that we saw here in the blueprints exchange, called Sensor Light. And once I have this blueprint imported in my Home Assistant, I can start creating automations. I can click on this 3 dots menu or overflow menu, and I can create an automation. Clicking on this next button will show me the automations that I created using this blueprint, but I don't have any till the moment, so nothing will be shown. I can share this blueprint and I can re-import this blueprint. More about re-importing blueprints later in the live stream. And of course, I can delete this blueprint like I already did for the pre-installed ones. But what I want to focus on is this create automation. I'll click on it, and this is the configuration of this blueprint, and this is what I have to configure in order to have an automation based on this blueprint. Have in mind these asterisks right here. All these are required. So in order to have a working automation, I have to type something in these two fields. All others are optional because they don't have this star icon next to them. As you can see here, I have a star here on the trigger and lights. I have to select a trigger and I have to select a light that can be triggered by my automation. All other things, there are a lot, they are optional. You can not touch them if you wish. Of course, if you need them and if you want to take the full advantage of this blueprint, you can type them. Let's start. What will be our trigger? The trigger should be a binary sensor, perfectly a motion sensor. In a perfect scenario, it will be a motion sensor. When motion is detected, something will happen. So let's see if I have some motion sensor here. Because I have a lot of sensor, I'll type motion and I'll find this front motion binary sensor. I'll use it. Immediately another entity dialog drop-down box is shown below, so you can select more than one entity here if that is your desire, if you want that. But I leave only one entity, my front motion sensor. And as lights, I can choose area, device, entity, or label. I can choose also scenes or scripts. I can select scenes or scripts to turn off the lights. I can set a time delay. These are all things that are pre-configured by the blueprint, and you can reuse them or you can ignore them. I'll choose an entity here. For example, bedroom light. I'll choose one more. Family room light or lamp. And what else? This one, light. So at this point, I can save this automation and it will be fine because I populated the most important things, the trigger and the lights. But let me show you the other options because that's the whole point of this live stream. I'll quickly go through the other options. Light control. What is light control? I can set brightness, different kind of brightness. If my smart light support dimming, I can say here, start the light X or whatever I have to brightness of 50% or whatever I wish, or 100%. I can set a transition to this state in seconds. I can set a core temperature. If it is a colorful smart light, I can set it here. I can set kelvins, core temperature. I can use RGB color or RGBW color, and I can set anything here, but that is optional again, and it is not needed for me, and I will not set it. Next option is bypass. Use the bypass option, select if you would like to enable an option. Each option allows manual control of your lights, but alter its behavior by either turning on or keeping its current state when the bypass is switched on. So you can use a bypass or you can skip it. Of course, this is optional. You can use the sun elevation. So for example, this is a condition. If you are familiar with Home Assistant automation, this is a simple condition. If the sun state is minus 1.5 degree, that condition will be true and your automation will be executed. If not, your automation, the trigger and condition will not execute the action of the automation. Simply as that. So you can include sun elevation in your blueprint. So for example, if the sun elevation is above some degrees, this automation will not be executed. Next option is ambient. This option is used to add a condition that only allows the automation to run when it is dark or below the ambient settings. And here you can set a sensor, for example, that is measuring the luxes in your house. And I don't have such a sensor, but if you have, you can use it, and you can set if the luxes are above or below 20, that means dark, then start the light. If it is still light, if it is too bright and the luxes are high, don't start the light. And this is another condition that can be used by this blueprint. Of course, time condition, you can set the specific time intervals here. And if the motion detection is within these time ranges or within these days, the lights will be turned on or off. Otherwise, they will not be changed at all. So time is also possible to be added as a condition here. You can set a device tracker. For example, if you have a Home Assistant companion app that is installed on your phone, and your phone is your location services on your phone are allowed, this device can be used as a device tracker, and based on these location services, Home Assistant will know are you home or not. And this automation can be executed, for example, if you are at home. If you are away, no, this automation will not be executed, and this can be defined here in these device tracker conditions. Next option is night light settings. So if it is night and if motion is detected during night, you can say power on only bedroom lights, no, nothing else, for example. So during the day, you can turn on once motion is detected one lamp or one light. During night, you can turn others. It depends of your choice. And you can set here the night start time and night end time. So Home Assistant will know what is night in your for you. This is where the night lights can be selected from here, and we have a night control, very detailed night control with transitions, again, brightness, color, temperature, basically everything. And now I cannot see. No, stay. I don't want to leave. I don't. I was a bit in a zoom. I was zooming. I zoomed my page. Sorry, but it is late here, and I'm a bit sleepy. I zoomed a bit my page to be better visible, and I didn't see the save button, but now it is visible because I zoomed out to the normal state, and I can click save. If I click save, I'll see the dialog where I can name my automation. I'll leave it like that. I'll just type demo at the end, and I'll click on rename. And now I have a sensor light demo automation created. Come on, zoom out. From this blueprint, if I go to automation, This is some other automations that I created before, but this is my newly created one, sensor light demo, and it is currently enabled, and it is created from the blueprint that I imported earlier. And if I click now on this show automation using this blueprint, I'll see the same automation. The good thing about what I did, automations, blueprint. The good thing about the blueprints is that I can create another automation using the same steps, but I can choose a different trigger, do different lights, different settings, and I can save it in a different name, and I'll have another automation created from these blueprints. As I said, blueprints are like a templates that can be configured as you wish, and you can create one or more Home Assistant automations. Let's test this quickly, and we'll move to the next top blueprint. So what we did here is, if the front motion sensor is in state on, as it is currently, some lights will be turned on. I'll turn off all lights like that, and I'll open my developer tools to simulate that my front motion sensor is in state off. To show you that better, I'll move this in a full screen, and also this in a full screen, and I'll merge them like that. Now I have this split screen, and I can see here this is my dashboard and this is my developer tools. I'll go to states and I'll search more for front motion. Currently the state is on. I'll make it off. That means I'll force the state of this front door motion sensor to be clear, like so. And now if I set it back to on, some of the lights should be turned on. Let's see that. And yes, kitchen light is turned on, bedroom light is turned on, and so on and so forth. That means the automation is working. Again, this was the simplest possible way to use this blueprint. As you saw, it was very, very complex. You have a lot of conditions that you can be used, and if you have enough sensors for that, and if you want to have such complex setup, you can use this blueprint. It allows that without any issues. Let me show you one more thing about blueprints, and we will move to the next one. Once you click somewhere here, and if you press the C button, you can type blueprints, and you can select navigate, and this command prompt, this command window will lead you there, will navigate you to this correct place. So you don't have to use the settings menu at all. You can use the C button on your keyboard, and you can go wherever you wish. What I wanted to show you is that if I go to the automation and if I click on this overflow menu, where it is? Here it is. I can see the traces, and this is how the automation of this blueprint is looking like. As you can see, it is having a lot of ifs and a lot of options. It is a very, very complex blueprint that covers basically every possible scenario, every possible case, and that's why probably this is one of the most popular blueprints out there in the Blueprints Exchange. It is enormous, guys. Look at that code. This is a YAML code that is written to have this blueprint up and running, and you can reuse it with several clicks. You can import it with 1 or 2 clicks, and then you can use it. Of course, you can edit the automation. So if you don't like how it is working, you can fine-tune it again from the same menus. You can read the best practices, and you can read the FAQ, frequently asked questions, and you can fine-tune it. Enough about this blueprint. Let's see the others. I'll go again to Blueprints Exchange, and I'll sort them by top. And the next one is low battery level detection and notification for all battery sensors. This is the second most popular blueprint at the moment in Home Assistant Exchange. This is the code. This is the My Import Blueprint button. I'll click on it, and this time I'll not edit my instance because, as I showed you, this should be done only once, and after that you can leave it as is, and you just have to click on Open Link. Again, the same Import Blueprint dialog. This is the URL of the blueprint, and I can click on Preview. Hello, James from Australia. What time is it right now in Australia? I don't know. Is it a day or night? I'm in Europe, and here it is 11 p.m. right now. Anyways, import blueprint, and low battery blueprint is now imported in my Home Assistant instance. And again, I can create an automation from one or more automation from this blueprint. This is much simpler blueprint. As you can see, we have only several things that I can configure right now. Totally different than the previous one, because the previous one was a very, very detailed blueprint, very complex blueprint. But again, you can use it very easily by typing only the required items, as you saw. Never mind, this is then another blueprint, low battery level. The idea here is to create an automation that will warn you when there is a low battery of some of your devices. And here I can set a threshold. If the battery of my devices go below 20%, then this is the trigger. This automation will be executed. Time to test. I can set here the time. So the test is done once per day, I believe. And if I leave this as it is, this test will be done in 10 a.m. probably in the morning. So every day at 10 a.m. this automation will be run, and it will check for devices on battery that have less than 20% battery left. Next option is weekday to test on, and currently the weekday is 0, which means every day. If I want this test to be only in Mondays, I have to set it to 1. From what I see here, so Monday is 1, Sunday is 7. So if I want to test my batteries every Monday, I have to set this to 1. If I want to test my batteries every day at 10 a.m., I have to set it to 0. And here I can exclude some sensors. How convenient is this? So everything will be checked, and if I want to exclude something, I have to select it. So for example, I want to exclude my bedroom window battery or my watch battery. So I can say here, don't check my smartwatch battery because I'm watching it 300 times per day. Don't watch it. I'll watch them. I'll take care about it. So don't look at it at all. And I can select few of the sensors here. All other battery sensors will be checked every day at 10 a.m. And the last thing that I can add is an action. This action should be a notification in most of the cases. So you can use Home Assistant Companion app to push some notifications to you, some messages, or you can use Telegram Messenger or emails or voice calls or persistent notifications which are embedded in Home Assistant, and I'm going to use that. I'll add an action and I'll search for persistent notification, create, and this is where I can type my message. Is it visible? Yes, it is. It is 8 a.m. in Australia right now. Okay, it is early morning there. Good. So the message, let me open the... where it is? I want the blueprints exchange because I want to fine-tune the message. I saw something there. The message can, of course, can have a template like this one, and it will say which device or which entity is having a low battery, because otherwise you receive a message, you have a low battery, but on what device, on which device is this low warning? In order to understand which the device, you have to include this template in your message. So I'll copy the whole text because I'm lazy. Low battery warning for sensors. And I'll paste it here. Visual Editor is not supported for these templates. That's perfectly fine. But other than that, I'm ready. And now if any of my battery devices is having less than 20%, and if device is not my smartwatch, I should receive a persistent notification right here. Of course, I can add another action, for example, notify, but I'm not sure, do I have Telegram? Yes, I have here. Telegram bot sent message. So I have configured here a Telegram notification service, and let's test this. Let's test this. So right now, if I have, if the trigger and conditions are met, I should receive both persistent notification here and a Telegram message. Let's test this. I'll save it. This is the name by default of this automation. I'll just type some demo at the end and I'll click on rename. And if I go back to automations, I'll see my low battery automation demo. And in order to test this, I have to go to my split screen again, because this is how I can demonstrate you that visually. So for example, I have a lot of battery devices, a left window battery. So let's say my left window battery, which is currently at 90%, let's say I'll force this sensor to have less than 20% battery to test this automation. So I'll search for left, this one, left window battery, this entity. No, not this one. Left window battery sensor, this one. Yes, left window battery sensor is currently with state 90, which means 90%. If I set it to 19, which is less than 20, set state, nothing happens. Why? This is a big fail. It becomes immediately back to 90. Let's try one more time. No, it is not working. My automation is not working for some reason. Why? Oh, I see. I know why. Because if you remember correctly, let me show you the blueprint. This automation is checking battery state only once per day at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. I'm not so sure. But because of this condition right here, and because currently it's not 10 a.m. obviously, this is not executed. So in order to simulate this, I have to do two things. I have to set the sensor, the battery percentage below 20% here, like so, and very quickly to run the automation. But how quickly is going to be updated? Let's try this. I'll run this automation. Come on, not this one. Run. Is it still 10? Yes. And now the notifications are 3, and I have a persistent notification here. Low battery warning for left window battery, which is at 10%, and my Kirio iPhone 7 battery is 1%. Okay, great, it is working. My Telegram, I'm not sure, my Telegram is not working. Probably Telegram notification is not configured well on this instance, but that is my issue, not the blueprint issue. My Telegram notification is not configured correctly. I didn't receive a Telegram message, but I received a persistent notification, which is saying exactly what I wanted. My left window battery is at 10%, and I also have another device in my home assistant that is below 20%, and I received a notification about it as well. So everything is working great. Again, this automation is run only once per day, and that is why it didn't work initially. But once I force it from here, from run, everything was fine. And this is what I wanted to show you. The trace and the code here is not big. As you can see here, I have few conditions, and that's all. So let's go to the next one. Next one from the top home assistant blueprints. Wake up light alarm with sunrise effect. That means you can use this if you have some smart lights with dimming. You can use this blueprint to create an automation that will wake you up in the morning, imitating the sunrise. So it will gradually start to increase its brightness until you are going to wake up. So let's see it. I'll click on it. a lot of text, a lot of explanations, a lot of updates. You can see the change log. The last update was 3 years ago. Wow. So this blueprint is probably perfect, and it not needs any update since then. We have some text that is not valid already. This is the code of the blueprint, and this is the my import blueprint button. I'll import it. I'll click on preview, import, and I have the blueprint imported. Super easy, and I can create an automation. From here I can select the wake up light entity, for example my bedroom light. Alarm timestamp sensor, this can be also selected, but it is optional. It is not having a star next to it, so I'll leave it as it is. Additional entity, manual alarm time, so you can set manually your alarm time. 7 is fine, 7 a.m. is fine. Additional entity to check before sunrise is triggered. So if you have a workday sensor, for example, or device tracker, you can set it here. Here you can set the sunrise duration. So for example, how many minutes the simulation of sunrise will last, and from where to start, from where to start as a brightness, from 1, which is probably the minimum, and from where to go to 254. This is the maximum. Which is the color temperature, which is the pre-sunrise action and post-sunrise actions. So you can add actions before sunrise and after sunrise. But this is also optional. So the only thing that you can choose here is one light, and everything else can be left as it is. Of course, you can set your alarm time. Let's set it to 23:13. Are we going to make it? Because currently it's 23:12. Let's save it. Rename. Oh, it is 23:13 already. What happened with my bedroom light? Bedroom light. It is at 39%. Let me change this to 14. 14. Come on, I want the save button. Save. Okay, so now at 23:14 this automation should be eventually executed automatically, but I'm not sure about that. Let's test this. I don't have any actions. But I think I don't need them. But of course you can add it. Add them if you need them. The blueprint allows that. So it's 23:14. Nothing is happening with my bedroom light, unfortunately. Why? I don't know. Let's see if this automation is executed. 18 seconds ago. So it is executed. Exactly on the alarm time. But why my bedroom light is not at 1? I expected this bedroom light to become 1% and gradually to go to 100%, but this is not the case for some reason. Maybe I missed something. Let's try to trace this. Error. There is a template error here. I don't have the time to debug this. I'm not sure what's the problem. I have to further investigate this error. So probably if I read the manual, which is very detailed, I'll know what is it. But maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Maybe I have to add an action, or I have to read carefully the error. But I prefer to go to the next blueprint. Anyways, you saw what this blueprint is all about. You can further test it. You can import it easily on your instance, Home Assistant instance, and you can try it by yourself. Let me know if you face the same error or if you manage to fix it. It will be, you can comment that under this video or in the chat if you manage to do it right now. Meanwhile, I'll check the next add-on, which is called low battery notifications and actions. But we had such a blueprint already. Very similar. We have another one here. It seems very similar to the one that we tested earlier in this stream. So I suggest to do the following. I will create one more poll. And you can vote, should I import this next low battery blueprint or not? I'll create one quick poll, but I have to end the previous one, I believe. And now I have to I can create a new one. Should I test the second low battery blueprint? Question mark. Yes or no? You can type yeah, you can vote yes if you want me to test it, or you can vote with no if you don't want to test this. I'll start with the next one, and after I finished with the next one, which is bathroom humidity exhaust fan. After we finish with this, I'll see the poll results. Meanwhile, you can vote. Do you want me to import and check this low battery notification and actions blueprint, or you want me to skip it? Vote now in the chat. And I'll open the next blueprint. Step into the future of freshness. Customize it your way and experience the convenience of automated humidity control. What an intro. I like it. Ooh, invalid parameters given. What? That was not good. Oops, that page doesn't exist, or it is private. What happened? This blueprint becomes private in a blink of an eye. Oh, now it is working. Super strange. Never mind, let's test it. I will import this blueprint while it is still public. Import blueprint. This is the one. I'll create a new automation. And again, I have a FAQ and community support. Again, the fields with a star are required. All others are optional, and you can leave it or you can use it depending of your needs. So I have to select here a humidity sensor. I'll search for humidity here, family room humidity, and select the humidity derivative sensor. This is the main key trigger for this automation. To ensure the auto trigger functions correctly, you need to create derivative helper and select it here. For more information on how to set up a humidity derivative sensor, click here. Okay, so I have to create a template. Yes, low battery notification is very interesting. Okay. Vote, please. I'll click here to see what will happen. I have to create this sensor, derivative helper. And to select it as an entity here in order to use this blueprint. And this is the step-by-step process of how to create such a derivative sensor helper in Home Assistant. I will show you the first steps only, and I'll leave the rest to you. Because there are a lot of this is a lot of text and a lot of steps, and if we do that, we will lose a lot of time. So you have to go to helpers. Again, I press the C button here to open this command window, and I type in here helpers, and I'll select navigate helpers. This will lead me to my helpers menu where I can create a new helper, and here I have to find this derivative helper, and I have to type a name, I have to type an input sensor. I'm not sure which input sensor I should choose here. I should read the whole text in order to do the right steps. I guess it is a humidity sensor. I guess I should select some metrics here, but I'll not do that right now. It is a lot of work for a live stream. I'm not prepared about that, sorry, but you can test it. Everything is well described. Precision 2, time window can be 3. Select minutes now, submit. Once you create it, let's see. Okay, let's try it. I will use the same template, the same values. Where is my template? Menu, derivative, derivative sensor, sorry, humidity. I'll select here my humidity. Precision was 3, oh no, it was 2 every 3 minutes, and the metrics will be, what was the metrics? None, and the time unit is minutes. Okay, the metric is none. Oh, nano. Not none, but nano, I guess. No, it is none. It is none. But I don't have none here. How to select none? Strange. And time unit is minutes. I'm not sure. I'll leave it like that. There is an exclamation mark here, so something is not correct. and I'm not sure what. Probably this non-metric, but there is no none here in my installation. Probably this is not very up to date. Metric prefix none. How to select none when there is no none in my installation? I guess I have to read also the comments, and I'm not sure. Again, here on this screenshot the metric is none. So I'll leave this, guys. I'll not test it. Fan. I don't have a fan switch. I cannot test this. Sorry guys, I cannot test this blueprint because I'm not having a fan in my Home Assistant installation, and I cannot create this derivative helper. Let's test this, but it is with my coffee maker. I'm not sure what will happen. This is not going to work, I guess, but anyways, let's test this. Now if the humidity goes below some threshold or goes above some threshold, the fan will start. And I have a winter mode, summer mode, lights. Good, but the derivative helper is not set correctly and I don't have a fan. If you have a fan and if you have a humidity sensor, you can try this. Can it be empty? No, James, I cannot leave it empty. I have to select something for some reason. And I guess I'll leave this blueprint untested. Let's see the poll results. Yes, 67% of you voted with yes, so you wanted to see this blueprint about the low battery, where it is. I'll click here because it's faster, top, and I'll find the low battery blueprint, which is this one. I skipped this blueprint and I asked you via the poll, would you like to test it as well? And you said yes, so let's test it. This is the import. Stay charged, stay smart, let's automate and take charge of your battery maintenance. Import and is this the newest one or is this the newest one? I believe this is what I just imported. Yes, this is the newest low battery notification and actions. Okay, I have only one drop down that needs to be populated, and I have to type something here. Use the button helper trigger, optional. For how to create button helper, click here. So now I have to create a button helper and to use it inside it to test my battery devices. Okay, let's do that. I'll name this button test battery. I'll search for Come on, battery. I'll search for an icon. This is entirely optional. The name can be whatever you wish, and I'll click on create. And probably this button, once pressed, will trigger the automation. Set the time you would like to run the automation, 0 hours. Set the weekdays. Don't use a button trigger, use button trigger. I'll set this to use button trigger because I just created it. And battery settings, again the threshold is 20%. Again, I can exclude some battery sensors from here. And I can select a custom group. And I can set a custom group low warning level, which is something that I cannot do with the previous blueprint. This is more advanced stuff. Easy notify. Use the easy notify device notification options. What is this easy notify? Enabling this option will send notifications to the selected devices below. It allows you to choose which battery sensors to use and then select their states from one of 3 preset messages. You can also opt to receive the confirmation message if all batteries are OK. For further customization or to integrate with voice assistants like Home Assistant, Google, TTS, please explore the custom action options. I will not use that. Sensor selection, device notified, title, message, Android only, action buttons. Easy notify, action buttons. So these are options to notify you easily, but I will not use them. I'll prefer the custom actions with the persistent notification because I can easily demonstrate them. But if you have Android devices and iOS devices that are connected to your Home Assistant via the Home Assistant companion app, you can use these push notification methods and you can set them from here very easily. I don't have such things on this Home Assistant instance, so I'll skip them, I'll ignore them, I'll leave them as they are. I'll not change anything here in this easy notify and action buttons, but I'll set a custom action, and this custom action is having some hints here. All battery sensors minus excluded. Again, I have the same sensors template, or I can use all sensors. Let's try with all sensors here. And I'll add an action. I'll zoom out a bit. Persistent notification create. Zoom out again. And as message, low battery warning for all sensors. This is what I should receive as a message if some of my devices is having a low battery, and I can click on save. I'll type demo here, and now I have a ready to be tested automation. Come on. automation. I should disable the first one because it will be probably triggered. No, it will not be triggered because the previous automation was executed every day at 10 a.m. or something like that. So this is the newest automation right now. And how to trigger it? I created one button that I forgot how I name it. Let's try to find it. I'll click somewhere here and I'll search for battery, test battery. This is the input, this is the helper that I created. And if I click on press, I received a notification, low battery warning for key device phone, battery level at 1%. So this automation is working good. And if I set my motion battery from 90 to below 20, I should receive also a notification for this as well. Let's quickly try this. Left window battery is now 90%. I'll set it to 10 and I'll press the button again. Of course I can add this button right here on my dashboard, and I can press on it. Of course this can be an automation. This could be set automatically, not a button. Everything is possible. I'll press again, and do I have another notification? Yes, iPhone 7 battery level at 1%. Probably because this sensor is returned back to 19. Let's test it one more time. Test battery, press. Come on. Yes, left window battery is at 10% and key iPhone 7 is 1%. Good. This is working and it is more advanced than the previous one. You have more options and the trigger is a bit different. Not once per day, but by a button. I believe other triggers are also possible. You can customize this automation as you wish. It is having more options. So this was the other top Home Assistant blueprint that we just tested and it was working good. Let's see what else we have here. Come on, I want the blueprint exchange. I'll just click on this button and I'll click on top to sort them by popularity. And the next one, we are not going to test it because we are going to skip it because I don't have Sonoff NSP panel. If you have such a device, and this is Sonoff NSP panel, Pro, not Pro, doesn't matter, this is it. Smart panel, smart display, touch display that you can flash with some custom firmware, or you can use the out-of-the-box firmware to control your smart home. If you have such a device, and if this device is added or integrated with your Home Assistant, you can use this blueprint right here, where it is. Come on. You can use this blueprint to configure your own custom NSP panel easy via this blueprint. So you can use it to configure your NSP panel to look like this, to have some buttons, to have some info, but I don't have such a device, so I'll just skip it. Again, if you have it, go to the Blueprints Exchange link and test it. Next blueprint is send camera snapshot notification on motion. Okay. Do I have some cameras here in my installation? Let's see, camera. MacBook Pro, active camera. But this is a binary sensor and a sensor. It is not a real camera. And I don't have a camera in this instance. Anyways, let's try to import it and see what's all about this so popular home assistant blueprint. I don't know where are my... Here it is. I'll click on it. This blueprint will send a snapshot from a camera to your phone when motion is detected. That is perfect. And this is the blueprint code. This is the my import blueprint. Again, invalid perimeter given. What is this error? I'm seeing it for the first time. Something is wrong with either my computer or this website. I'm not sure. Import. This time it is working. I'll preview it. I'll import the blueprint and I can create an automation from it. One or several. And I have a motion sensor. I can select it from this drop down. And I have to select a camera here. But I don't have a camera in this instance and I cannot demonstrate it. And it is a must. As you can see here, this entity is having a start next to it. So this is a must. And it is normal to be a must because the whole blueprint is called to send a camera snapshot when motion is detected. So if I had a camera, I had to choose it here. Then I have to choose a device to be notified. For example, my iPhone or your Android phone or your tablet or whatever you wish. There is a switch Easy Turn iOS device, and you can enable or disable this. iPhones are iOS devices, so if I had a camera, I should enable this. Optional title, auto-populated, motion is detected, that's fine. And a message, which is also optional, and it is auto-populated. Detected movement, and I have a delay that can be set to wait before creating camera snapshot. So you can set several seconds to be delayed before the snapshot to be taken, and then you have this image in your phone. And if I had a camera, I can test this, but I'm not sorry about that. If you have a camera and motion sensor and a device that you want to be notified, you can use it literally with 5 clicks. You can create an automation and you have notifications on your phone when there is a motion, and you have a snapshot on your device, which is pretty handy and very easy to accomplish using this blueprint. So go check it out. This blueprint is a good one. I like it. It is very simple and very intuitive and very useful. I like this combination of very things. So next one. I'll go back again. Come on, back, and I'll see the Home Assistant Blueprints Exchange sorted by top popularity. The next blueprint is actionable notifications for Android. I don't have an Android device. Let's see what we can see here. So if you have an Android device, you can configure it using this blueprint to receive such notifications that are actionable. So you receive a message when your garage door is open, for example, and you have 3 buttons or 2 buttons or whatever buttons you wish that can be clicked. And if you clicked on close garage, for example, the garage will be closed. If you click on go to HA, you see the Home Assistant dashboard, and you can open the Tesla app. That is a custom functionality that you can set to whatever you wish. So this is very, very useful if you have an Android device and you want not only to receive passively some messages, but also to interact with them. That is why they are called actionable notifications, because you can perform some actions, and these actions can be quite useful, because otherwise the scenario is the following. You receive the garage message that is saying garage door is open for more than 15 minutes, for example. And when you see that, you have to open your Home Assistant dashboard. Then you have to find your garage door. Then you have to click on it, and then you have to close it. That are too many clicks. Why don't you receive a message with a button, and if you click on this button to close that damn garage? Simple as that. So if you have an Android device, and if you have a garage or something that you want to control from notifications, please test this blueprint. It seems very, very useful. And because I don't have Android here, I'll just keep it. And I'll go to the next one. And the next one is notify or do something when an appliance like a dishwasher or washing machine finishes. Super, super useful. Let's test this. I'll click on import. Again, the same error. Why this error? James said something. I set this one up last night. Send camera snapshot, but also uses Google AI to let you know when it is what is in the picture. Generative AI camera snapshot notification. Good, very good. That's pretty nice, James. The only negative here is that the generative AI are not free. So you have to pay for this service, I believe. From what I know, from what I managed to test so far, all these generative AI services are paid. They are not so expensive, but anyways, they are paid. So let's try to reopen this again, because I saw this same error once again. Notify or do something. Import plugin. This time it is working. Preview. Import. Oh, that was loud. We have a new subscriber, I believe. Thank you. I didn't saw your name because my screen is too small. Thank you. Thank you for the subscribe. Let's see where is the blueprint that we just imported. Come on. Appliance has finished. This is it. This is it. Huh. Oof. See blueprints and create automation. That is what I wanted. Power sensor. I have to select a power sensor here. Power sensor is usually a smart plug that is having power metering functionality. Do I have such thing here? I believe Shelly plug S, yes. Oof, energy or power? I forgot. Probably power. What is the correct sensor? Let me check. Shelly plug S, energy or power. Yes, this is the one that I needed, power. The other one, Shelly plug S, energy, is showing the total consumption. Yes, the energy is showing kilowatt per hours and the power is showing current watts, and they can vary from depending of the appliance that is connected to this plug. Anyways, let's go back. I was here, so I have to select my Shelly power as a sensor. Starting power threshold. So this blueprint can be used, from what I understand so far. Basically everything is set in this one sentence. Do something when an appliance like washing machine or dishwasher has finished as detected by a power sensor. So when your dishwasher is finished, you can be notified thanks to this blueprint and the automations that are created based on this blueprint. So I have few things that I can configure here. The starting power threshold. So for example, if you have to measure your appliance before configure this blueprint. So if your starting power point is 5 watts or 10 watts, you should configure that first. So that doing so, this blueprint will know when your appliance is started. There is a starting hysteresis. Time duration, the power measurement has to stay above the starting power threshold. So if your device is staying for 5 minutes above 9 or 5 or whatever watts you set here, that means your device is really started, is really running at the moment. And we also have the same thing but for finishing. So if the power goes above 5 watts, let's put it with the initial value here. So if the value of these appliances is becoming more than 5 watts for more than 5 minutes, we know that this device is currently running. And if the watts are dropped below 5 watts for again 5 minutes, then the appliance is finished its work. And now I just have to set some actions. Good. But what was let's try to simulate this. But what was the Shelly current power? Shelly, because I want to simulate starting 49. So I'm fine. Let's make it if the starting threshold is about 48 for 5 minutes, and if it drops below 49 for 1 minute, I'll change these parameters a bit in order to test this blueprint. I'll zoom a bit in order for you to see better. And I can add some actions. These actions again will be persistent because this is the easiest notification possible. It is embedded in Home Assistant. And as you saw, the notification is going here in the notification sections. The washing machine is done, for example. So if I have the following scenario, if the wattage of my appliances go above 48 watts for 1 minute, and after that it drops below 49 watts for 1 minute, again I should receive this message. And of course you can create such automations for your dishwasher, for your washing machine, for your coffee maker, or for whatever you wish, using the same blueprint. What is happening here? Message malformatting, missing input, pre-actions. What do you want? I'm not sure. I have two actions here. One is pushing a notification, TTS announcement, and so on and so forth. And the other action is when starting threshold is crossed. Should I add something here as well? Persistent notification, create. Starting cycle, for example, save. Okay, so now it is okay. I had to enter something for both actions, for starting threshold and for finishing threshold, for I don't know. So you can have different messages when your appliance is starting and when your appliance is finished. And not only messages, of course, you can add any action here, you can add whatever you wish. But persistent notifications are the easiest way to demonstrate you this. Now, let me open my Shelly device. No, not here. Device info. Currently the power is 49 watts. And I'm above 48, so that means I should soon receive a notification. I'll clear them all because there are too many. And if these wattages are staying for 1 minute, I should receive a notification that the cycle is started or something like that. If my automation and if my settings are correct, of course, there is a big chance that something goes wrong because I'm improvising in front of you guys. I didn't test these blueprints in advance. I have seen some of them before, but not right now. Fortunately, I'm not receiving a notification and probably 1 minute is already passed. And I expected after 1 minute to have a notification here. But unfortunately, this is not the case. Why? I have to trace this. It is never executed. Why? after 48. Let's set it to 47 because it goes up and down constantly, and probably this is not enough. I have to put it a smaller number here, and I have to wait another minute. Can I make it less than 1 minute? Oh, 0:10 minute. That's better. 0:10 here as well. They are red, but it seems that it is working. Will I have a new notification now or not? No, 10 seconds are passed probably and I don't have it. Why? Why? 5 watts. If it is above 5 watts for 10 seconds, I should receive a notification. Why I'm not receiving it? I'm not sure. I'll clear these filters. No. No, it is not executed. For some reason. No traces. If I run it manually. Now I received, but I manually run it. Why it is not auto started? I'm not sure. I don't know. Appliance has finished. Why? This is empty. Oh, this is a new. Okay, I understand. This is a new automation that I created, and this is my existing one, but still it is not triggered automatically for some reason. I'm not sure why. The power is above 5 watts and it is not auto triggered. No, it is not working for some reason for me. Maybe if you try it, it will work for you, but I'm not sure why. And unfortunately I cannot trace it easily because I manually started it. No, it is not working. Maybe I have to read the documentation here. Where it is. Where it is. I have to read this. It is updated 2 years ago. And since then there are no changes. Pretty simple. Yes, it is simple, but it is not working for some reason. Okay. I will not waste more time here. I'll try the next one. The next one, let's see it. Oh, very good. Appliance notifications and actions, washing machine, clothes dryer, dishwasher, etc. etc. This is pretty similar to the one that we just tested. And the one that we tested, it was not working for me for some reason. Let's try this one. Again the same error. I'm not sure why I'm having this error. And now it should work the second time. Strange. I will import this appliance notification section. Same functionality, different blueprints. I'll create new automation from it. And this is looking a bit different, and I have a lot of options. Power setting. Again, power sensor. Power. I'll select this here. Power set point. Start power set point. Power time delay. Let's make it quicker because I don't want to wait 1 minute. 0.25 is the smallest possible value. Dead zones, we have a dead zones here. And appliance set point. I'm not sure how I can simulate this, because I really have to put it below 49 watts in my example. I'll leave it like that. And I'll check the other options. Start notify. I can enable or disable this start notify, which is good because with the previous blueprint I was forced to have a start notify option. Here I can choose not to have start notify, so if I don't care when my washing machine is started, I can leave it disable start notify option here as it is, and I will not be notified for this. For end notify, I can also enable or disable it. I will enable them both, and I can select where I should be notified on my phone. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I have a lot of options here. Interruption level, iOS only. I can set the interruption level. I can set a different custom sound, again for iOS. For Android, I can set a high priority sticky notification, or I can set a notification channel. I can set a reminder. A lot of things. This is very customizable. Power tracking. I can enable power tracking. So in the end notified message, I can include the consumption, the power consumption, and eventually the total cost. That is pretty powerful. So for example, imagine the following. Your washing machine is finished its cycle, and you receive a message that is saying your appliance is finished and the consumption, the power consumption is this, and the total cost is this amount of dollars or euros or whatever it is. That's pretty convenient, but in order to achieve this, you have to play a bit with these settings. This is the power sensor that can be used if you enable this. This is the cost where you can set the cost and cost per kilowatts. Use the duration tracking option, so you can enable the duration in the end message, which is also a pretty good option. So apart from the power consumption, apart from the total cost, you can also have a duration. For example, your washing machine is done after 2 hours, for example. Watchdog. You can enable Watchdog. This feature keeps an eye on your appliance to ensure it completes its task. This is also very handy. So if something happens with the appliance, for example, the power consumption drops to 0, you can have a notification during the power cycle. Custom actions, and here I can set some custom actions for start, for watchdog, and for end. Very good blueprint. I like this blueprint a lot. I like it. I really like it. It will be good if it is working, but nevertheless, I like it already. So this is custom action for start. This is a custom action for end. Is done. Okay, start and done. And of course, not of course, but this is also optional. I can set time conditions and some global conditions. That is pretty powerful blueprint. I like it. Let's try to save it and test it, but I guess I have to set my device to below 1 watt or below 5 watts for 25 seconds. I'm not sure how I will manage to do that, because I will set it using the developer tools, but it will return back to its normal power consumption immediately. So I'm not sure how to simulate this. I have to attach a real washing machine here or real dishwasher to test it, and I don't have such. Let's test it that way. So if the watts of this device goes below 5 watts for 0.01 minute, I should receive a notification eventually. The washing machine is done. I received this notification probably from the previous automation that we created. The one that I manually started is now sending me a notification that the washing machine is done. Okay, nevertheless, let's test this one. I'll open my split screen and I'll search for power. Let's see if I will find, yes, this is the one. The current state is 49 watts. I'll set it to 4. And let's clear the notifications. I'll dismiss them all. Why you are not cleared? They are actually cleared, but the digit is staying here for some reason. Now it's fine. Okay, I'll set these to 4 watts. And let's see if I receive. No, nothing is having, nothing is here. I'm not receiving a notification. It is hard to simulate this, guys, because if I open this sensor right now, the current state is 4, but it is immediately back to 49. I can set it for, and I have a notification. I think I simulated it somehow. Let's see. Yes, starting cycle. So I simulated the starting of a washing machine cycle, and in order to test the finishing of the washing machine, I should put it for below 5 watts for 1 minute or whatever I've set in the blueprint. I forgot already. Let's check this. So to simulate the appliance power to appliance end, I have to set my device, my sensor, to below 5 watts for 0.01 minutes. And I'll have a message saying that my washing machine is done. It is hard to simulate this because I'm forcing these wattages by the developer tools, and they are returned back to normal very soon after I manually force them. So if you have a real machine connected to this power socket, it will be easier, a lot easier. You just have to find your real watts for starting point and ending point, and you have to set them here, and you're good to go. You have your automations up and running. I like this blueprint better than the previous one because it have a lot of options. It have a lodge dock, it have a power tracking. You can also include in the notification power consumption, total cost, duration, and a lot of things. So this is a good blueprint, detailed one with a lot of options. At the same time, you can start it with very few clicks and ignore all the options if you don't need them. So this is also a good option, and this is also a good thing, and that is why it is probably one of the top blueprints in the blueprint exchange. With that, I think we covered probably 10 or I don't know how many blueprints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Around 9 blueprints. We covered the top 9 blueprints. We skipped several of them, like this Sonoff NSP panel. But these are the top 10, sort of, Home Assistant blueprints at the moment. You saw how you can test them very easily, and I hope I managed to help you understand most of them, at least the first top 10 blueprints. And now I want to show you something else. Where is my presentation? Here. We did this demo. Now I want to show you how you can update blueprints. There are 2 ways to update blueprints, because as you saw there, most of the blueprints are having changelog, so they are constantly fine-tuning them. The authors and the contributors can change something, and if you want to have the latest version, you can get it by using one of these 2 approaches. The first one and the easiest one is to re-import them. So you have to select your blueprint. You have to click on the overflow menu, and then you just have to click on re-import blueprint. And if there is a new version of this blueprint, it will be automatically downloaded to my Home Assistant. Finished, re-imported, and now the latest version is on my computer. The other possible method is to use the YAML code of this blueprint. So let's see this one. Appliance has finished. Where it is? Appliance has finished. this one. I believe this was the appliance has finished. I have to copy this YAML code from here, copied. The YAML code is now copied. Then I have to open my Home Assistant. I have to open a file editor add-on or something similar. I have to go to Blueprints, Automation. I have to find the author of this blueprint. It is called SBYX. Where is my... here? And I have to open this YAML code, notify or do something. And then I have to delete everything here and to paste the copy text, and I have to save the changes. And this is the other method to update your blueprints. This is having more steps and it is more complex, and you have to have an access to your Home Assistant folder either by add-on like this file editor or VS Code, or if you're using Home Assistant container installation, you have to go to your folder where the configuration of Home Assistant is. You have to start a text editor and to do the same tasks there. If you have a Home Assistant core, same thing. If you have Home Assistant supervised, you have possibility to add add-ons like file editor or VS Code, and you can do the same steps. The re-import option is much easier and much safer. Otherwise, you have to find a lot of things, like you saw the exact folder. You have to find you have to remember. Imagine if you have to do that every 5 months. After 5 months, you forgot everything about this blueprint, where it is, who was the author, how to find it. It is difficult. You have to write this info somewhere, and in order to remember easily. At least I am that way. Quick re-import is doing the same thing, so please use re-import if that's possible. Otherwise, use the YAML update. This is how you can update blueprints. Next slide. Home Assistant webinar. I set different installation. There are 4 different installation types: Home Assistant Core, Home Assistant OS, Home Assistant Container, and Home Assistant Supervised. All of these installation types of Home Assistant are official, and they are having different pros and cons. And I have a webinar, Home Assistant webinar, which is free of charge, and you can register right now by following this link. I'll copy it. Actually, I'll open it and I'll paste it in the chat. Come on, paste is not working for some reason. Now it is working. Here you have to type your name and email address, and then you have to click on Watch Free Webinar, and you enter in the webinar room where you can see my webinar. I'm talking there about the 4 official installation types of Home Assistant, plus 1 secret way to get started on a PC in under 5 minutes. It is very easy. You have to watch it. After you register for my webinar, you also register for my newsletter, and you receive my offers and updates in your mailboxes. And you can unsubscribe. It is a free service, and you can unsubscribe if you don't like it for some reason by clicking on unsubscribe button on every email that I'm sending. So it is a fair, service. It is free service. If you don't like it, just click on unsubscribe. But please try it. I put a lot of effort in it, so you may like it. And I can continue forward to the next slide. And the biggest drawback of the blueprints, according to me, of course, this is my opinion, is the updating process. You don't know, you can re-import the blueprint as you saw very easily, but you don't know what are the changes and will my automation still work as it is, or I have to do some more configurations. You just have to click on re-import and that's it. You have the newest version, but is the newest version compatible with the previous one? Are there any new features? Are the old features removed? You don't know that. You have to open the Blueprints Exchange. You have to see the changelog. You have to read the last comments. There are some manual work that you have to do, which is not very convenient most of the times. So the other option is not to update your blueprints. Once you import them, once you create your automation based from this blueprint, leave it as it is. Leave it working. You can take control of this automation and you can customize the automation. And it is possible not to update the blueprint at all. So you can stay where you are. This is my biggest drawback about blueprints. Blueprints are great. They are helping you a lot to easily create automations. And as you saw, most of the, most common tasks are already created as blueprints, and you can very, very easily create a blueprint that is saying your dishwasher is done, to send a snapshot of your camera when motion is detected, and so on and so forth. But updating of the blueprints are not, they are easy, but you don't know what the new version is providing easily. You have to dive deep in the Blueprints Exchange, which is not very convenient. That's all. And now you can ask me something in the chat. Let me see the chat. Oh, wow. I want only the chat here. James said, yes, it's free. Thank you. I have to go to work. Okay, probably he's talking about the image recognition service, which is free, strangely enough. Gemini Limited. It depends from where are you using it, because as far as I remember, Gemini, that is the Google's AI, is having a free tier only for specific countries and regions. I'm living in Europe, in the European Economic Area, or what it is, and for this area there is no free tier of Gemini, and I have to pay for it. But if you're outside Europe, you can try the Gemini free, Gemini limited, and you can have a free of charge image recognition, which is great. You can ask me some things in the chat and I'll try to answer. Now is your time. You can ask me anything. Type something in the chat and I'll try to answer. You can register for my webinar meanwhile, or for my glossary. Start your camera's phone, point it at your screen, scan the QR code, and your device will be redirected to this automate-like.pro/webinar link, and you can type there the name and the email address to enter. Or you can do the same for the smart home glossary to download the big PDF that I told you about. Let me check again the chat. No one is asking anything, so I don't know. I'll wait 1 minute more. Let me ask you something. Do you like this live stream? Type simple yes or no. Do you want me to create more live streams in the future? Type something in the chat. It will be very beneficial for me because real feedback is much appreciated. I know from experience that there is some delay in these live streams, so I'm asking you right now. You see the question 30 seconds after I'm asking you, so that's why I'm waiting a bit more. Okay. Maybe you don't want to type something. Yes. Extreme ideas. Set yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, extreme ideas. Is this a YouTube channel? Go to channel. Let's see this channel. 1 subscriber. Good. Now you have 2 subscribers. I subscribe to your channel and I will enable all notifications. So if you create new videos from now on, I will be notified. Let's see if anyone else will type something in the chat. No, I guess we are done. Thank you for this. We spent... Hi, Kirill Peyansky, thanks. You're welcome, Extreme Ideas. You're welcome. Please post videos so I can get some notifications from YouTube about your new content. What I was about to say is that we are done. Thank you for this. Thank you for joining me tonight or today. It was a pleasure to meet you and to interact with you, because otherwise it is a lonely work to create videos. I shoot them, I edit them, I post them, and then I receive some comments, but offline. And it is not the same. Now I can interact with you. I can make a poll. You can vote. As you saw, you vote to skip the censor's importing task. You wanted only the blueprint importing tasks and demonstration, and that's fine. I totally respect this. I love to interact with you guys, so thank you one more time. I'm Kirill, and next week I will create a video or live stream. I don't know. I didn't decide yet. Subscribe if you haven't done that already, and you will understand as well what you have next week: live stream or a pre-recorded and pre-edited video. We'll see. Again, thank you one more time for joining me. I'm Kirill, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.